What should people be aware of?
You had a little bit of work out there that kind of just showed me who you are. These politicians are going to get voted, and the ones in control, they're going to drop that rate a little bit. If they want to sell something, they'll call you.
A lot of agents got into real estate.
She turns around, stares, not a damn word is said. She just slowly back out and closes the door. Thank God she didn't shoot me, but...
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in for our first episode, Beyond the Listing, episode 1. And I can't wait to introduce you to one of my good buddies. His name is Salvatore Burke. He owns Burke Group Real Estate here in the Space Coast. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Don't forget Coast to Coast Property Management too, man.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, he also does that as well.
Yeah, we basically do everything. It's a one-stop shop. Anywhere from commercial to residential to investment management, that's what we handle.
Cool. So how do we meet again?
Well, to be completely candid with you, I was doing some stalking.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I was looking to get into this video craze because a lot of the real estate market, video is key, especially when you want to present that property correctly. So technically, I met you first. I was stalking you out on Instagram. I liked the work that you did, and we had a listing in our pocket that was coming up that needed that expertise. It was over 5,000 square foot. It was $1 million home in West Melbourne, and we wanted to make sure we sold or showed every aspect of it. So technically, physically, after doing a little bit of social media stalking on you, we met at the end of that driveway. And to come full circle, we actually have that listing across the street this day. So years later, we're doing it again.
So what was your impression of me for the first time around? What did I do that really made you go, I can actually trust on Aaron and whatnot?
You actually, seeing what you put out there, what you actually had attached to your name, that showed me that you do go above and beyond and you actually give a damn about what you do.
Yeah.
So, that's a big aspect that I take into this business, that I preach to all of our agents and our clients as well. We actually give a shit about where we're going with things, what we're doing with things, how we're presenting their properties, and I saw that same work ethic in you.
Yeah.
So you're definitely very analytical. You're very precise with what you do. You have a game plan, and you get those juices flowing on my end, so I could kind of feed into it as well.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing real estate media marketing for now 7 years, and I feel like I picked up a couple things.
Oh man, so I caught you at the beginning and you were still doing it. Yeah, you definitely picked up a few things.
I think you caught me. What year was that? 2019?
Oh, 2019. I'd say about 2019. Yeah.
So you caught me just as I was starting to really trend or get better at my job.
Well, we went straight to the nines on that video. We did pretty much everything we could because, that's what you're supposed to do when you're in this business. You're presenting people's homes, do it the best you possibly can, put that foot forward.
Well, I mean, I don't know many people who would trust a new person to their business, especially when it comes down to $1 million property. I mean, we did photos, video, drone, 3D Matterports and all the other stuff.
You had a little bit of work out there that kind of just showed me who you are. I'm always willing to work with people if they have a good foundation. All the other little shit that can be grown or fixed over time. But you had the work ethic. You had the eye for detail and the ideas. And with the way everything changes in marketing, real estate especially, it feels like every 24 hours this day and age. You got to stay ahead of it. You got to be in tune with it.
Yeah,
and showed all of it.
Yeah, right. Well, enough about me. I want to talk more about Burke Group Real Estate. So how would you say in a nutshell, like what are some of the specialties that you do as a business, and what are some of the things that you believe set yourself apart from other brokerages, other real estate firms here in the Space Coast and beyond?
Our biggest thing, and I've harped on it for the 17 years I've been in this business, is actually caring. We are a 100% veteran-owned company, both companies at the end of the day, both the property management and the residential, the sales side of things. But, our agents are all kind of cut from the same cloth. Yeah. We realize that if it's a $5,000 vacant lot or a $50 million property on the ocean, that's that person's investment. That's the money. That's what they worked hard for. And, a lot of foundations for family lineage or generational wealth is grown from real estate. So you got to give a damn. You're changing lives at the end of the day, and that's the best and the most things that we focus on is just putting that best foot forward and giving a damn like your family.
And how long have you been doing real estate as a whole?
17 years in total. I started out, technically we really want to go back at 16. I was reading books about real estate investing, and I love every aspect of it.
Yeah.
You change people's lives on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. I'm sure you get to have some fun stories as well as some bizarre stories. Well,
Yeah, a few things that you can't unsee.
yeah, I'm going to ask you a question later
man.
about that, but
How PG can we keep this?
whatever.
All right. Good luck.
If we need to, we'll bleep out some stuff. Hey, anything goes. We're just trying to figure out where we're gonna go with this podcast.
Let's
but
play with it.
I
Absolutely.
love having just a real conversation at the end of the day.
That's fun stuff.
But okay, so going to the next question, we kind of already talked about this, but I'd like to go in a little deeper for perhaps some people who are looking at this podcast. Maybe they're a real estate agent or they're just beginning to become a broker. And one of the things that I have a question for you is, from your perspective as a broker, how crucial is top quality media in today's real estate landscape? Where does that line up for you? Is that one of your top priorities, or?
I could sum that up pretty easy. That is basically, we are team oriented. We back each other up. We work as a team. So technically any of our clients are not just working with one agent, they're working with a few. But right up there next to it is going to be, how you present these properties, because in turn it's how you present yourself. And if you are actually putting that best foot forward for your clients, because they care exponentially about their properties, their houses, and what they're doing. And you better care the same amount, if not more, when you're putting that best foot forward.
When you go to the table and you're saying, hey, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, here's what sets me apart. How many times have you gone to the table and you say, here's everything I do, and they're so blown away?
Every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time. I mean, not just from that, is we give the examples of everything we do. Your typical old school agent, they get a list, they pop it in the MLS, they sit back and wait. This day and age and the technological world we live in, with people being able to have information right here at the click of a thumb.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? You got to be at the forefront of that. You got to stay in front of it.
One of the things that we actually just got back to doing as Space Coast Media Solutions, I took it away for a little time, but I quickly went back to it because I realized how valuable of a tool.
Thank you, by the way.
So it was the marketing kit, and in that marketing kit, you get all kinds of different tools, and what that I think has been able to really wow people from the start. You say, hey, this is our own dedicated website we get to do for all of your listings, or
100%.
Right? Is there anything else on there that you really love?
So I like, especially when we do the Matterports on those larger listings. I mean, let's face it. The studies say 92% of home searches are done from a phone. I think that's probably a little bit of a low number. Yeah. And when you put that property out there, you better give them the most information possible, because people are going to move on to something right afterwards, on to the next one, if you don't have it presented correctly. So the Matterport helps out. The photos popping the way they do, being correct, portraying that property in its realistic state, giving as much information to these clients as possible, because they're going to get it one way or another, and you want to make sure that you're the one presenting it.
Yeah.
So between the floor plan, between the Matterport, between the lead capture and generation, the data that's collected with those landing pages, especially in a changing economy, helps you have those conversations with those sellers later on down the road.
Yeah, and now I think more of the focus now is doing video reels. How have you seen that influence and be able to further that gap between you and your competition?
Oh, it's keeping you again at the forefront. As much as the older generation like myself doesn't want to get into the social media stuff, it's a hell of a key cog. It's very cost efficient, but you could target specific people with it.
Yeah.
So the reels, as we all know, people don't like reading. They don't like having to scroll through shit. If they got a video on there and you play it right in front and it's eye-catching, the music's great, they're going to sit down, they're going to watch it. Yeah. And even if they're not even in the market for a property, they're going to see the way that you present a property, and when that time comes where they want to sell something, they'll call you. I mean, I can't tell you how many actual listings I've gotten just by presenting properties the right way.
Yeah, so one of the things that, and one of the reasons why I brought Sal onto today's podcast is he is prime. Burke, sorry.
There you go.
Burke Group Real Estate is prime for growth. And I have a easy question for you. What makes Burke Group Real Estate positioned for growth?
Right now, when we're growing with agents, it's because of the support system we offer. I said it at the beginning, we are a team-oriented business. We don't pull any punches. We want to work together because, if I found something that works, I want the other agents to know, hey, look, this is a good, efficient way of doing it, and I want that feedback. Just having that support system and that family-type atmosphere in place When you're starting a new business or you're a new realtor, they don't teach you how to do things. We're there to teach you, kind of guide your hand, and kind of put you a few years ahead of than doing the trial and error yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say it enough. Team. You know, you need somebody there to support you.
Yeah. I know when I am going from photo shoot to photo shoot, I can tell typically by talking to an agent where their skills lie. And I feel like a lot of agents are nowadays, they're really craving that mentorship and that one-on-one experience. And I would like to say there's probably other people out there who are willing to be a more sociable broker and sit down and go over types of scenarios and whatnot. So, and I see that with you. I've gone to your office a lot of times, and you have a couple of agents, and they're just chatting with you, having these conversations. So I know firsthand, I've seen that. And
you got to be. There is no literal book on how to do this. You know, you have the books, you have the information that you study to pass the test, but once you're on the street, there's literally nothing to tell you or teach you how to do it. So, you know, if you get lucky when you're first starting, you start out with a team, but again, it winds up splitting up your commissions, and eventually you'll get to about 33 cents on the dollar where I started for the first 12 years.
Right.
So just taking that learning curve completely off the table and helping these guys put their best foot forward to start off where they could be or where they would be, you know, 7 years later without any guidance, to get them the jump start on it. That's the main name of the game.
Right. Can you share some of the qualities that you're looking when hiring, or when you're recruiting new agents?
That's a pretty easy one. I like team-oriented, friendly, affable people that are willing to help the person sitting there next to them, people that are willing to work together with you know, like-minded people that are complete open books. You know, I don't like the egotistical. I don't like, you know, oh, I found out this works, let me keep it a secret. You know, there's enough business economically in this county, in this state, in this country to go around.
Yep.
You know, help other people succeed, and you'll eventually get to where you want to be in life.
Yep.
And it's just a matter of helping. That's it.
Absolutely. Why should realtors consider joining Burke Group Real Estate right now? I don't know why I keep on
That's
saying
basically it. You know, a couple years ago, the business was growing a little bit crazy, which, you know, real estate does that from time to time. It's all cyclical. But, you know, everybody and their cousin was getting real estate licenses, and they just weren't getting that proper guidance. So now that we're in a normal market again, I love it, because we've implemented with our agents to plant the seeds that are necessary to constantly create growth and to constantly build your business.
Yeah.
And if you didn't learn that in the past couple of years, you're sitting out there floundering. You're probably going back to your old job because you didn't have somebody that cared. You had somebody that was just looking at I want 1 million agents and I want to collect $2 off of each one of them, and they're just playing a numbers game. They don't give a damn about the person.
Yeah, and I can tell you right now, a lot of agents got into real estate 2019, 2020, probably specifically 2020, 2021, right? Because it was so gosh darn easy to sell a home. I mean, you could literally take a cell phone picture, and that home was sold anywhere between 12 to 48 hours, if not sooner. I guess where I was going with that was, I think a lot of realtors need to rely on a broker for the proper marketing techniques. And
well, not just the brokerage, but the systems and the people that are around that brokerage in itself. You know,
Yep.
I'm never going to be available 24/7, but if I got other agents that are also team oriented, we're all helping each other out.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't care if you've been in the business for 25 years or 2 years. The person that's been in here a little bit less may just see something that the one that's been trained for 20 some odd years that sees through just a tunnel, they may see something that person doesn't see. And just having those open communication, the open ideas, it's paid itself dividends. It's helped a lot of people grow their business.
Right. Yeah. And just going into, you know, what we were saying as far as marketing, it is important to have your systems down now more than ever, because
100%.
houses are staying on the market for 45 days on average, if not longer.
We're back to a normal market.
Yeah.
You know, the opportunities are out there. We've had inventory in Brevard County has steadily increased over the past 13 weeks. So with the more inventory, the more options are out there, the more you need to be competitive with your neighbor's house down the street, the more
Yep.
you need those systems to reply, to properly put that best foot forward and to present that listing. You need
Yep.
to be able to stay ahead of everybody else that's around you.
Yep.
And you need the support team to do it. Let's face
Yep.
it, nobody's available 24/7. But if you
Yep.
put the right damn teams in place, you're there.
Yeah. And for realtors watching, what I would say is a huge advantage, especially now. If you can start now, partner up with Space Coast Media Solutions, especially, get in front of the camera, start talking about what you do, what you specialize in, start putting out those videos as far as reels, podcasts like we're doing now.
Actually, let me harp on that real
Go
quick.
ahead.
You know, you get a lot of people that are afraid to jump in front of that camera, and they're nervous. They don't like the way they look. They don't like the way they sound. Well, the only reason that is the way it is because you're the only person you've ever met since you were born that hasn't watched you or heard you talk. Every single person you've ever met has seen you. They know you. They know your facial expressions. They know your voice. It's normal to them to see you on video. It's just not normal to you.
Yep.
So once you get over that little hurdle, just feeling a little bit shy or embarrassed, and just realize, look, everybody that likes me knows me anyway. What the hell's the difference?
Yep.
Throw it out there and do it.
Yeah, right. And even if you are doing it by yourself, that's better than anything. But I would always recommend a professional. That way we can make you look good, sound good. And most importantly, you're going to feel a lot better being in a setting where you're surrounded by professionals. I think that is a huge key. So if you're a real estate agent, start putting your marketing dollars into that. I believe that will start getting and gathering more leads in the
Get your
future.
name and face out there, man.
Yeah, right.
Especially
All right,
this day and
so
age.
I'm not a real estate market expert, but I know you have a little bit of expertise to it, at least on.
A little bit. I live, eat, and breathe this shit, man.
Yeah, all right. So for me, I'm not. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I know it. But so I did a little bit of research, and one of the questions I had to come up with was, especially right now, we're seeing high interest rates affecting the real estate market. What should people be aware of?
When it comes to high interest rates,
Yeah.
you know, economically, what it does is it affects the amount of buyers you have looking at a specific house. You know, a higher rate's going to qualify them for less of a purchase price at the end of the day because it's got to fit within their budget. But what I say to a lot of people on that is, you know, if you're buying a house and you're looking at it for you, for your family, for a starter, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be your dream home anyway. But get your foot in the game.
Right.
You know, and because we have these. The inventory increase, and because we have these higher rates, it's a great time to negotiate. So a good way to do it is, you know, I've told you this before personally, is, you know, stop renting. You're paying 100% interest as it is. So 7 is nothing. Yeah. But you get your foot in the door, you negotiate on the front end, you save a bunch of money by going back and forth with the seller. Once your foot's in the door, you own that property. When the rates do drop during election season, like they do every 4 freaking years, that's when you refinance and you save on the back end. So you get the best of both worlds.
Right.
If you're sitting around waiting for those interest rates to drop, you're just setting yourself up for failure. You're going to spend more money by the rates dropping because you're going to have that many more people looking at the same property. Right. Negotiation leverage is not in your corner anymore.
Yeah, right. So would you say, are there any indicators that we can keep a close eye on right as of now to watch for?
Election season, man.
Yeah.
That's it. That happens every time. You know, these politicians are
Right.
going to get voted, and the ones in control, they're going to drop that rate a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of shameful that they do that, but hey,
it's where we live.
You get the benefit off it, I guess. They just want your vote. So this is one of the things that I kind of came across. I was actually watching a YouTube video, and one of the surveys that I saw, it was a graphic. It was a recent Redfin survey. I think it was also partnered with the U.S. Census Bureau as well. So it was like tied between the actual stats of people and whatnot. They showed a sharp decline. I think it was 61% of homes from 2022 to 2023 were less affordable. And what are your thoughts on that, as far as homes now not being just affordable across the board? Because I know for myself, like looking at a home that 2 years ago was $100,000 less than it is now, $350,000, and just a year ago or so it was anywhere between $280,000 to $250,000. Mm-hmm. I guess
you can't really look at it from that kind of angle, you know?
Right.
If we all go back 20, 30 years ago, we're going to see not only the prices of a house be a lot less, but your jeans, your gas, your car, everything you've ever done.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's kind of alluding to like what I said earlier. You know, yeah, the houses are a little bit more expensive, but get your foot in the game. It's not going to be your dream home off the bat, but it's better than taking money that your hard-earned money that you work for every day and burning it on paying somebody else's mortgage. Might as well pay your own mortgage.
Yep. Given that the affordability is at an all-time low, has this influenced your business's strategies as far as real estate?
Oh, absolutely. So when it comes to from the selling side of it, you know, again, you got to put that best foot forward. That's where video comes in the key. The reels on social media, your YouTube videos, your photography, doing it well and doing it right, but also proactively going out there and looking for buyers that qualify for that property, not sitting back and waiting for them to come to you. Go to them.
Yeah. So, what unique opportunities or challenges does this affordability crisis present for real estate agents here in Space Coast?
Yeah, it's basically we just got to be educated in the programs out there. We got to help people understand that, yeah, if you want to try to wait for the market to quote unquote drop, as they say, that could be a losing game. Nobody's got a crystal ball.
Right.
But the opportunity for the buyers, actually, at least, is you have a lot of programs that can assist with down payment. You got government grants, you got hometown heroes, first time home buyers. I can go on and on. They're endless. And the hometown heroes one, they said the funds are running a little bit low on that, but keep in mind, they allot a certain amount of funds to these programs year in and year out. And as those funds dwindle or they deplete, they come out with a new program. So the programs are always out there. Getting a local educated lender that knows what they're doing and knows about these programs is a godsend if you're buying.
Yep. So as we're kind of dwindling down this podcast, I have a couple fun topics. 2 questions, and then we'll be done for today. Let's switch gears. And what's the most bizarre, if you need a second, think about it. But what's the most bizarre situation you've encountered in your real estate career?
All right. So I used to manage about 120 properties up and down the beaches years and years ago. And, part of that was when their vacation rentals are fully furnished. And sometimes you have owners that are local. Sometimes they're, completely out of town and they just want to rent it out to snowbirds over and over and over again for short terms. Well, in this particular case, the owner was she lives in Orlando. And she was an older lady. She was awesome, though. So I'm going there doing the rounds in the morning to make sure after we have the move-outs, we like to do inspections, photo inspections, video inspections. Want to make sure, everything is copacetic before we actually release that security deposit, make sure, all the furniture's there.
Right.
So unbeknownst to me, she didn't let us know that she was actually going to drive over on Friday night and utilize her oceanfront condo. So... we knock before we go into any property just to be sure. You just never know. So we knock. Nobody answered. We walk in, and as we're walking in, there's this little lady in a towel. She turns around, stares, not a damn word is said. You just slowly back out and close the door. Thank God she didn't shoot me, but that was awkward. Got downstairs, she called me, asked if that was us, and we never spoke about it since.
Until now. I get the first take.
All
right, so last question. I'll let you go first, and then I'll try to figure out what I would have to say for this question. But if we swapped roles for a day, if you became a marketing media specialist, and then I also had to become a real estate broker, what challenges do you think you would face doing my job?
Me doing your job is just getting people and realtors to understand that when you purchase videos, when you have a listing and you're purchasing photos, the photography, the Matterport, the floor plans, all that shit, it's not an expense. It's an investment.
Sure.
That you need to utilize every listing to not only, sell that listing, to present it properly, to put it out there properly, but you need to use it as a way to advertise for you as a realtor and a broker, to show the world that you do things right. You put your best foot forward and you don't play any games.
Yeah. One of the challenges when I'm telling agents about this, a lot of friction or hesitation will come from budget.
And that's within reason, but
right.
I'm not saying go crazy on everything, but definitely make sure you do it right.
Well, and I try to always be very honest with the realtor. If we walk into a listing and it's a dump, and they're ordering all this fancy schmancy videos and whatnot, I'd be like,
pull it back a little bit.
I would actually just do photos. Because
sometimes too much information is too much information.
Right. And now, if I was a real estate broker, what challenges would I have? I think for me, I am very business oriented. So me would be probably trying to recruit. I feel like that's probably one of the harder things to do, is get people on your team and keep them interested. And
it's getting the word out there,
right?
You know what I mean? That's where the marketing and that's where the social media comes into play. Is you need to, people don't know what they don't know. So when you're a starting broker, like you said, is getting the word out there.
Yeah, getting the word out and doing probably some different pay structures that a normal brokerage doesn't do. That way it incentivizes people to come and work for you, right?
Pay structures are all good and dandy, but what's the 100% of zero?
Right.
still zero.
Yeah,
so
right.
if you're not taught correct, I mean, you have these brokerages out there that tell you all the time, 100% commission, 100% commission. What they don't tell you is you got transaction fees, franchise fees, desk fees, printer copies.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know that.
You
So
get loaded up on the back end anyway.
I'm already out of business.
Oh,
all right?
absolutely. You get loaded up either way. But again, like I said, if they're going to give you 100% and like legit 100%, then not tell you anything, where does that get you? Nothing.
No, yeah.
So you need that support
Right.
system. You need that education. You need that team behind you to help you build your business the way you want to build it.
Yeah. I think one of the other things that would drive me nuts is, and it already drives me nuts with my side of the business, but thankfully I don't have to deal with it too long, is ego. I think ego, especially when money's involved, and we get to see the best of humanity sometimes when we do this business, but
I tell a lot of people when they come into this business, whatever business you came from, insurance or cars or, the restaurant business, the people that you work for, your clients, are specifically oriented into that small little window.
Yeah.
When you're a car salesman, people are coming to you to buy a car. When you're insurance, they're coming to buy insurance. You're a doctor, they're coming to you because they have something wrong with them or they need some help. When you're in real estate, literally every walking soul is a damn potential client that you could help out.
Yeah.
Whether it's a rental, a purchase, a sale, it doesn't matter. If you eat, sleep, shit, you need a place to live.
yeah, right. See, like that for me, that would drive me nuts because I can't stand it when I go to some family, or not even family, but some hang out with friends, and the buddy over in the corner, he's a realtor, and
The shit out of
the
you.
next question he asks you is, "So, are you looking to sell? Are you looking to buy?" I'm like, dude,
That's
at
a
least
little
get to
direct.
know me.
That's a little direct. Yeah, get to know me first before you take me
now,
on.
in all reality, most agents probably don't do that, but I have seen a few, and I go, "Ooh, that's cringe.
Yeah, and
that's
where,
very cringe."
That's where doing the videos and everything comes into play.
Yeah.
You become the resource in your local area for your friends, your family, the neighborhood to go to when it comes to real estate. Anything question-wise, advice, direction you want to do, you become that main person to go to, and then everybody comes to you.
Yeah. Well, how'd you think we did for our first episode?
I think we need tequila next time.
Tequila?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I'll make it happen. Well, hey, I want to thank you guys for watching our first very episode of Beyond the Listing. And I want to thank you to Salvatore Burke with Burke Group Real Estate. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for letting me hang out.
Yes, sir. Thank you again.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Yep.